One simple change to how you walk that could save your life after 70. Senior Health Podcast. The profound truth is that the single most impactful action one can undertake today to drastically diminish the risk of falls, an action surpassing the efficacy of any technologically advanced balance aid, specialized grip sock, or strategically placed bathroom handrail, is neither a purchasable item, an installation project, nor a demanding new exercise regimen. The solution, in its essence, is far more straightforward, residing within a fundamental alteration to the very manner in which you navigate your world. A subtle, yet immensely powerful, specific adjustment to a movement you have executed countless times throughout your entire existence. A movement that, for many, has almost certainly been performed incorrectly for an alarming number of years without conscious awareness. After dedicating a quarter century, specifically 26 years, to working intimately with adults beyond the age of 70 as a seasoned physical therapist, I have observed this perplexing and dangerous pattern emerge with a frequency that defies simple quantification. Time and again, an individual arrives at my clinic following a fall, their demeanor marked by confusion and a profound sense of embarrassment. They recount, often with a bewildered tone, "I was merely walking across my kitchen, nothing out of the ordinary," and, in their perception, they are absolutely correct. There was indeed nothing unusual about their immediate actions, and therein lies the crux of the problem, for the seemingly unremarkable way they engage in walking, day in and day out, has subtly, silently, yet irrevocably transformed into a hazardous activity, a perilous habit that, tragically, no one had ever brought to their attention. Today, my aim is to fundamentally alter that reality for you. I intend to illuminate what is, with high probability, transpiring within your walking pattern at this very moment, to meticulously explain the underlying reasons why this prevalent pattern exposes you to a severe and unnecessary risk of falling, and crucially, to unveil the single, uncomplicated adjustment that possesses the power to initiate immediate protection, commencing with the very next step you take. This transformative change requires no specialized equipment, no expensive gym membership, merely a conscious shift in technique, an adjustment that holds the genuine potential to safeguard your life and preserve your independence. Before we delve deeply into these critical insights and practical applications, if you have not yet joined our community, I sincerely recommend taking a moment to subscribe and activate the notification bell, ensuring you remain informed and never miss another vital health tip meticulously crafted specifically for your well-being. Should you find this video beneficial and insightful, please express your appreciation by typing 1 in the comments section below. Conversely, if it falls short of your expectations, kindly type 0 to provide me with invaluable feedback on how I can refine and enhance future content to better serve your needs. The pervasive and insidious problem we must first address is what is commonly referred to as shuffle gait. Allow me to paint a vivid picture for you, and I urge you to reflect with complete candor on whether this description resonates with your own experiences or observations. Envision an individual slowly making their way down a commonplace hallway. Their steps are conspicuously short, dramatically truncated compared to the longer, more fluid strides they once effortlessly executed. Their feet, rather than rising clearly and distinctly from the ground with each successive movement, appear to barely separate from the walking surface, instead sliding forward in a low, almost scraping, shuffling motion. This lack of clear footlift is a hallmark. Simultaneously, their upper body exhibits a subtle yet persistent forward lean, their gaze consistently directed downwards, fixated on the ground immediately ahead of them. Furthermore, their arms, which in a healthy gait would swing rhythmically and naturally at their sides, remain largely static, their movement minimal or entirely absent. This individual moves with an exaggerated sense of caution, an almost deliberate tentativeness, driven by an unconscious or semi-conscious awareness that the floor beneath them feels less dependable, less trustworthy than it once did. This descriptive panorama, unfortunately, encapsulates what is known as a shuffle gait, and it stands as one of the most alarmingly common and perilous walking patterns I encounter in adults over the age of 70. Its development is remarkably gradual, so imperceptible in fact, that the vast majority of individuals afflicted by it fail to recognize its insidious onset at all. What might initially begin as a minor increase in caution following a near fall, a slight stumble, or a moment of perceived instability, imperceptibly solidifies into an entrenched habit. The once effortless steps progressively diminish in length, the feet cease their natural protective lifting action, and the body's posture shifts forward into an increasingly precarious alignment. What subjectively feels like a careful, safe, and protective manner of walking is, in fact, objectively one of the highest risk movement patterns the human body can adopt, a silent harbinger of falls. The reasons for this elevated risk are multifaceted and profoundly biomechanical. When your feet maintain a close, shuffling proximity to the ground, any minor irregularity on that surface, be it the subtle upward curl of a rug's edge, a minute rise in the flooring where two materials meet, or an almost invisible crack in a sidewalk, is instantly transformed into an imminent and unavoidable trip hazard. There is simply an insufficient margin of clearance, an inadequate vertical space between your foot and the walking surface for even the smallest imperfection to pass beneath without consequence. And because your steps are already abbreviated, providing minimal forward momentum and recovery time, and your body's weight is already precariously pitched forward, the precise moment your toe inevitably catches on something, your body is granted neither the precious time nor the essential spatial allowance to initiate a corrective recovery. The fall, almost invariably, occurs with startling swiftness, often before your conscious mind has even registered the sensation or the imminent danger of falling. Furthermore, the manifestation of a shuffle gait serves as a critical indicator of a deeper, more systemic issue within the body. The specific muscle groups primarily responsible for the crucial action of lifting your legs, namely your powerful hip flexors, your robust gluteal muscles, and your stabilizing core musculature, have demonstrably weakened due to prolonged periods of underuse, a phenomenon known as disuse atrophy. Concurrently, the intricate neurological connection, the rapid communication pathway between your brain and your lower extremities, has become markedly sluggish and inefficient. The encouraging news, however, is that both of these debilitating issues are demonstrably reversible, and the journey toward their reversal commences with a singular yet profoundly impactful change. The pivotal transformation, the one change that can redefine your walking safety, centers around the principle of a proper heel strike. The specific adjustment I earnestly implore you to adopt is this. From this very moment forward, with every single step you embark upon, ensure that it initiates with the deliberate contact of your heel to the ground. This biomechanically sound action is termed a heel strike, and it represents the fundamental, inherently efficient manner in which human beings are physiologically and anatomically designed to walk. When one is younger and their gait is naturally uninhibited, unburdened by fear or compensatory patterns, the heel makes initial contact with the ground at the beginning of each stride. Your body's weight then gracefully and efficiently rolls forward, traversing through the supportive arch of your foot, continuing across the responsive ball of your foot, and finally culminating in a powerful push-off through your toes, propelling you into the subsequent step. This entire sequence is a remarkably smooth, fluid, and continuous rolling motion, a testament to biomechanical engineering, and it stands as one of the most efficient, stable, and protective movement patterns the human body is capable of producing. However, over the inexorable march of time, a subtle yet destructive process unfolds. As the vital muscles responsible for this intricate movement gradually diminish in strength, and as our intrinsic confidence in our balance insidiously erodes, that crucial and protective heel strike progressively vanishes. The foot begins to land flatly, or even worse, with the toes making initial contact, establishing a walking pattern that is inherently shorter, lower to the ground, and dramatically less stable. We inadvertently abandon the natural rolling motion through the foot. We neglect the powerful push-off that provides propulsion and stability, and we begin to shuffle. And with each successive month, each passing year of this ingrained shuffling habit, the very muscles indispensable for executing a proper heel strike become progressively weaker, simply because they are no longer being adequately engaged or challenged to perform their intended function. So, what does the practical implementation of correcting this profound imbalance actually entail? It is, surprisingly, far simpler in execution than you might initially conceive. With the commencement of each step, I want you to consciously extend your heel slightly forward, just a few additional inches beyond your customary reach, and permit it to make decisive, deliberate contact with the ground first. Actively perceive the sensation of your body's weight fluidly shifting forward through the entire length of your foot. Allow your toes to execute their natural, powerful push-off behind you as you progress into the next stride. And perhaps most importantly, and a point that cannot be overstated, lift your foot. Do not, under any circumstances, slide it across the surface. Consciously pick it up, extend it forward with intention, and land deliberately on the heel. When you meticulously execute this technique, a cascade of beneficial physiological and biomechanical events unfolds simultaneously. Your step length, as if by magic, naturally elongates, an inherent consequence that profoundly enhances your overall stability and forward momentum. Your foot achieves appropriate and safe clearance from the ground, effectively eradicating the significant risk of it catching on even the most minor surface irregularities. Your posture undergoes an automatic and noticeable improvement. The deliberate heel strike naturally pulls your body's weight backward and restores an upright, balanced alignment, liberating you from that precarious, forward-leaning shuffle position. Furthermore, your critical hip flexors, your glutes, and your core muscles are instantaneously re-engaged, suddenly being called upon to perform their essential work once more, which immediately commences the vital process of rebuilding the very strength and neuromuscular control that serves as your primary defense against debilitating falls. This singular change, this one precise adjustment, initiates a beneficial chain reaction reverberating throughout your entire musculoskeletal and neurological system, transforming your body's movement from working against you to actively working for you with every subsequent step. Now, let me guide you through 5 targeted exercises meticulously designed to solidify this novel and protective walking pattern, making it feel utterly natural, effortlessly automatic, and inherently strong. Exercise 1. Conscious heel strike walk. The profound importance of this foundational exercise cannot be overstated. Before embarking on any other corrective actions, it is absolutely imperative that you meticulously practice the heel strike itself. This practice must be undertaken slowly, with deliberate intention, and with your full and undivided awareness. A significant proportion of individuals who have succumbed to the habit of shuffling for months, or even years, have genuinely and often unconsciously lost the precise motor pattern required for a proper heel strike. The intricate neural pathway within their brain and nervous system that orchestrates this vital movement has, through prolonged disuse, faded into dormancy. This initial exercise is meticulously designed to rebuild and reestablish that crucial pathway by compelling your brain and your lower extremities to systematically practice the correct movement, repetition by careful repetition until it gradually, yet firmly, begins to reclaim its automaticity. To execute this exercise, identify a clear and unobstructed hallway within your home, or any sufficiently long and open space alongside a supportive wall. Position yourself at one end of this chosen area, maintaining one hand lightly in contact with the wall for added safety and balance support should it be required. Begin the process of walking, but this time, consciously direct your entire focus, your complete mental energy, solely towards your heel. With every single deliberate step, consciously extend your heel slightly forward and allow it to make primary, definitive contact with the ground. Actively perceive the tactile sensation of this initial contact. Feel the subtle yet powerful shift of your weight as it rolls smoothly through the entire length of your foot. Experience the dynamic push-off from your toes as you transition into the next stride. Perform 10 consecutive steps forward in this intentional manner. Then carefully execute a turn using small, controlled marching steps and return along the same path for another 10 steps. This complete sequence constitutes one set. Aim to complete a total of 3 sets, allowing yourself a brief, restorative rest period of approximately 30 seconds between each set. During this exercise, the paramount focus must be on slowing your pace down significantly. Speed in the context of neuromuscular relearning is your adversary. The more deliberately and slowly you walk, the greater your conscious control over each individual step, and consequently, the stronger and clearer the neural signal you are actively transmitting to your brain. Conceive of this exercise not merely as walking, but as a profound process of neuromuscular reprogramming, a fundamental recalibration of your movement patterns. As a valuable progress tip, once you achieve a comfortable proficiency with the heel strike on a consistently flat surface, challenge yourself by attempting it on a slightly different texture or type of flooring. For instance, transitioning from carpet to hardwood. This minor environmental variation compels your nervous system to adapt and generalize the newly acquired pattern, which is precisely the kind of adaptability required for ensuring real-world safety across diverse environments. Exercise 2, high knee march. The direct and debilitating consequences of an ingrained shuffle gait include a progressive and marked weakening of the hip flexors, the critical muscle group primarily responsible for the indispensable action of lifting your leg with each step. As these hip flexors diminish in strength, your foot clearance, the crucial vertical distance between your foot and the ground, precipitously drops. When this foot clearance is compromised, every seemingly innocuous rug, every subtle door threshold, and every minor unevenness in the walking surface transforms into a formidable and immediate potential trip hazard. This targeted exercise is designed to directly target and strengthen those vital hip flexors, simultaneously rebuilding the essential lifting reflex that conscientiously maintains your feet at a safe and protective distance above the ground with every stride. To perform this exercise, position yourself directly behind a sturdy, stable chair, resting both hands lightly on its back for reliable support. Commence marching in place, initiating the movement by lifting your right knee towards your chest as high as you can comfortably achieve. Then, carefully and with controlled precision, lowering it back to the floor. Subsequently, lift your left knee in the same manner. This complete sequence of lifting both knees constitutes one full repetition. Aim to complete 15 repetitions on each side, accumulating a total of 30 lifts, maintaining a slow, deliberate, and controlled pace throughout. The act of lifting your knee should feel remarkably fluid and effortless. If you perceive the movement as being too easy, it is a clear indication that you are not elevating your knee sufficiently high. Throughout this exercise, strive to maintain a tall, upright posture. It is crucial to resist the temptation to lean your upper body backward as your knee ascends. Your torso must remain erect and stable. The entire lifting effort should originate purely from your hip muscles, without relying on momentum or compensatory body lean. Furthermore, control the descent of your leg with the same meticulous care and deliberation as the lift. The lowering phase, known as the eccentric contraction, is equally vital for cultivating the specific strength your leg needs when your foot confidently returns to the ground. As a beneficial progress tip, as this exercise becomes more manageable, endeavor to practice the march while slowly moving forward through your hallway. Concentrate on lifting each knee deliberately before initiating the stepping action, then consciously placing your heel down first. In doing so, you are effectively integrating and combining this exercise directly with the principles learned in exercise 1, creating the most accurate and effective simulation of proper, safe walking that can be trained within the confines of your home. Exercise 3, stride length walk. A pronounced shuffle gait is characterized by a dramatic shortening of your natural stride, frequently reducing it to half or even less of its optimal length from younger years. A short stride is, unequivocally, an inherently unstable stride. It actively diminishes your forward momentum, profoundly disrupts your natural balance rhythm, and forces your body's center of gravity into an awkward, precariously forward-pitched position, further increasing fall risk. This targeted exercise is designed to gently yet effectively challenge you to progressively extend your stride length back towards a safer, more stable, and more efficient range. In doing so, it meticulously rebuilds the crucial confidence and muscle memory indispensable for achieving a proper, protective walking gait. To perform this exercise, carefully place 2 distinct pieces of tape on the floor of your hallway, positioned approximately 18 inches apart. This measured distance will serve as your initial target stride length. Stand at one end of the hallway, take a deliberate step forward, and consciously aim to land your heel precisely at or just beyond the second piece of tape. Subsequently, step forward with your other foot, striving to land its heel at approximately the same extended distance. Continue walking the entire length of the hallway in this manner, executing 10 full measured strides. Then, turn carefully and return along the same path. Aim to complete 2 full lengths of the hallway, dedicating your entire focus exclusively to achieving optimal step length and ensuring deliberate heel contact with each stride. It is vital to emphasize, do not lunge or overreach in an exaggerated manner. The fundamental objective here is to achieve a comfortable, natural extension of your stride, not a dramatic and potentially unsafe exaggeration of movement. If the 18-inch target feels excessively challenging initially, begin with a more manageable 12-inch distance. The precise measurement of the distance is less critical than cultivating the consistent habit and intentionality of reaching that heel forward with every single step. As a valuable progress tip, over a period of weeks, progressively adjust the tape markers slightly further apart, perhaps half an inch at a time, to incrementally challenge and extend your stride length. Many individuals are genuinely astonished by how rapidly their stride naturally lengthens and becomes more fluid once they begin consciously and consistently training it. Exercise 4, slow motion walk. A critical insight into human locomotion is that speed is often the very point at which proper walking mechanics tend to deteriorate. When we engage in rapid walking, or even simply maintain our customary everyday pace, we instinctively tend to rely heavily on ingrained habit and passive momentum rather than active, conscious muscle control and precise coordination. For anyone in the process of rebuilding and reforming a safe and efficient walking pattern, speed is, in essence, the fundamental enemy of progress. The slow motion walk exercise deliberately and completely removes the element of speed from the equation, thereby compelling every single muscle involved in the complex act of walking to engage independently and with absolute conscious control. This exercise stands as one of the most remarkably powerful neurological training tools available for the profound relearning of safe, controlled movement. To perform this exercise, position yourself at one end of your chosen hallway. Begin to walk at the absolute slowest pace you can physically manage, a pace so extraordinarily slow that each individual step requires a full 3 to 4 seconds to completely execute. Initiate the movement by lifting your foot, pausing ever so briefly in the air, then consciously reaching your heel forward, carefully lowering it to the floor. Actively feeling the subtle yet powerful weight shift, pushing off with your toes, and then commencing the intricate sequence of the next step. Walk the entire length of the hallway in this deliberate, slow motion style. Turn with meticulous care and return along the same path. This complete sequence constitutes one set. Aim to complete a total of 2 sets. It is important to acknowledge that this exercise will undoubtedly feel peculiar and potentially awkward. Slow motion walking is genuinely challenging precisely because it strips away all the habitual shortcuts and passive momentum that our bodies typically rely upon for movement. Every subtle wobble or momentary instability you perceive is a direct indication that your delicate balance system is being actively engaged and profoundly trained. Every minute correction your ankle executes signifies your nervous system diligently rebuilding its essential responsiveness and proprioception. Embrace this inherent difficulty. It is, in fact, the very essence and purpose of this exercise. As a profound progress tip, once you feel a reliable sense of steadiness and control, supporting wall, try gently closing your eyes for 2 or 3 consecutive slow motion steps. This advanced technique dramatically intensifies the proprioceptive challenge, forcing your body to rely solely on internal feedback, and consequently accelerates the neurological adaptation and integration you are diligently building. Exercise 5, obstacle step over. While the controlled environment of a clear hallway serves as an excellent starting point for gait retraining, real life is, by its very nature, replete with unexpected obstacles. Rugs, varying door thresholds, stray pet toys, ubiquitous electrical cords, garden hoses, and countless other everyday items present themselves as constant, unpredictable challenges. Every single one of these common objects represents a significant and immediate trip hazard for an individual burdened by a shuffle gait and diminished diminished foot clearance. This crucial exercise specifically trains your brain and your lower extremities to effectively detect an impending obstacle, to precisely lift the foot high enough to safely clear it, and to confidently land on the opposite side. This intricate sequence is the exact physiological and neurological response your body critically needs to execute in a mere fraction of a second when confronted by the same challenge in a real-life scenario. To perform this exercise, place a soft, lightweight object, such as a pool noodle, a securely rolled up towel, or something similarly compliant on the floor of your hallway. The object should ideally be approximately 4 to 6 inches in height. Position yourself a few feet back from the chosen obstacle, ensuring that a wall or a sturdy chair is readily within reach for any necessary support. Begin walking towards the obstacle at a normal yet controlled pace. As you approach it, consciously and deliberately lift your right foot, elevating it sufficiently high to clear the obstacle with ample room to spare, and then confidently step over it. Subsequently, lift your left foot, clearing the obstacle completely. Continue walking a few additional steps beyond the obstacle. Then turn with careful precision and return, again stepping over the obstacle. Aim to complete 5 passes in each direction, resulting in a total of 10 complete stepovers. During this exercise, it is paramount not to rush as you draw near the obstacle. Instead, consciously slow your pace slightly as you get close. Ensure you pick your foot up early, well in advance of reaching the object, and execute the clearance with a conscious, confident step. The overarching goal here is to train your brain to quickly recognize an obstacle, to initiate a proactive response in advance, and to execute the foot clearance with precise control rather than reactive panic. As an advanced progress tip, once this exercise feels consistently easy and routine, challenge yourself by varying the height of the obstacle. Perhaps use a slightly higher object one week, or an object with a different texture the next. You can also further enhance the realism by practicing stepping over the obstacle while carrying something lightweight in one hand, which provides a more accurate and practical simulation of how many real-life trips and falls tend to occur. Important safety warning. Before you wholeheartedly embark on the practice of any of these highly beneficial exercises, it is absolutely imperative that you approach this information with the utmost seriousness, for your personal safety and well-being are of paramount importance above all else. If you have recently undergone a hip or knee replacement surgery, if you are currently receiving treatment for conditions such as plantar fasciitis or any other heel-related ailment, or if your physician has explicitly advised you to avoid weight-bearing exercises for any medical reason, please, I urge you, engage in a thorough consultation with your primary physician or a qualified physical therapist prior to attempting any of these movements. It is entirely possible that certain exercises may necessitate modification to safely and effectively accommodate your unique physical situation and health status. Always, without exception, practice these exercises in close proximity to a supportive wall, a stable countertop, or a sturdy, unmoving chair, ensuring immediate access to support if needed. Never, under any circumstances, rush through these exercises. Deliberation and control are key to safety and effectiveness. Ensure you wear appropriate non-slip footwear, or alternatively, perform the exercises barefoot on a clean, safe, and stable surface. And most crucially, if at any juncture during your practice you experience sharp pain, a sensation of dizziness, or anything that simply does not feel right within your body, cease the exercise immediately and without hesitation. There is no potential benefit or progress to be gained from any movement here that warrants compromising your safety or risking injury. Always progress at a pace that is comfortable and appropriate for your individual capabilities, and unequivocally trust your body to communicate clearly when it is truly prepared for a greater challenge or an increase in intensity. Beyond the immediate mechanics of a safer walk, the implications of consistently practicing the heel strike and its 5 supporting exercises extend into a broader spectrum of well-being. Over the preceding minutes, we have meticulously explored how a single, conscious adjustment to your walking pattern, buttressed by targeted training, can fundamentally transform your stability and drastically reduce your fall risk. This journey of restoration begins with the deliberate re-engagement of muscles, from the stabilizing core down through the hip flexors and glutes, right into the intricate musculature of your feet, all working in concert to establish a more robust and responsive foundation for movement. Each carefully selected exercise within this comprehensive routine, the conscious heel strike walk, the high knee march, the stride length walk, the slow motion walk, and the obstacle step over, is strategically designed to build upon the efficacy of the one preceding it, precisely mirroring the body's innate and preferred method of healing and adaptation. The conscious repetition of the heel strike itself recalibrates your motor patterns. The high knee march directly combats hip flexor weakness, boosting foot clearance. The stride length walk restores efficient momentum and balance. The slow motion walk retrains neural pathways with profound control, and the obstacle step over prepares you for the unpredictable challenges of real-world environments. When these exercises are embraced and practiced, not with an expectation of unattainable perfection, but with unwavering consistency and dedication, the resulting changes are unequivocally real, tangible, and remarkably lasting. The subtle wobbles that once plagued your steps diminish, replaced by a newfound steadiness. The unconscious apprehension about uneven surfaces gives way to a confident stride. This remarkable improvement in gait, achieved not through aggressive, high-intensity workouts, but rather through the profound virtues of patience, persistent effort, and intelligent repetition, sends a clearer, more effective message to your nervous system. The human body is exquisitely designed to respond and adapt to what it is consistently reminded of every single day. And these carefully curated exercises serve as that essential daily reminder, awakening dormant capacities and strengthening vital connections. The long-term benefits extending from this diligent practice reach far beyond mere physical comfort. A restored, confident gait actively protects your balance and guards against instability. It profoundly mitigates the debilitating fear of falling that, like a silent thief, quietly erodes the confidence and independence of so many older adults. It meticulously preserves the invaluable ability to perform essential daily tasks, to walk unaided to your mailbox, to confidently ascend and descend your own stairs, to joyfully engage in active play with your grandchildren, and to navigate the intricacies of daily life without the constant underlying anxiety of wondering whether your legs will adequately support you. That profound level of sustained independence is by no means a trivial aspiration. It is, in every meaningful sense, everything. The process of aging does not inherently necessitate a surrender of control over how your body feels, functions, or performs. Instead, it represents an opportunity, a wise imperative, to diligently learn precisely which specific movements and physical activities your body genuinely requires and responds best to at this particular stage of life, and then to consciously and consistently choose to integrate them into your daily routine with deliberate care and profound intention. These exercises embody that fundamental choice. They are simple, inherently safe, and profoundly powerful in the cumulative ways that they meticulously build, layer upon layer, over the course of weeks and months. Now, I genuinely welcome and eagerly await your insights. Have these insights resonated with your own experiences, or perhaps sparked a new understanding of your body's movement? Please take a moment to share your personal experience in the comments section below, including your age and your geographical location from where you are watching. Your unique perspective might very well be the precise piece of information another viewer urgently needs to hear and relate to today. If you found this video valuable and engaging, please express your appreciation by leaving a comment with the number 1. If, however, it did not meet your expectations, please feel entirely comfortable commenting with 0. Your constructive feedback is deeply meaningful to us and continuously helps us refine our content. And please, do not forget to like this video, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for an ongoing stream of enriching and empowering content like this. Thank you sincerely for dedicating your time to watching, and here's to a future where you are living life vibrantly and fully on your own terms.